Whether you've never heard of a track saw before or you're even on the fence as to whether you need one in your workshop, hopefully by the end of this video you'll see how this tool will benefit you and your woodworking. Hey everyone, I'm Will and that's all coming up right here on WH Creations. So today I'm going to be talking to you about Evolution's R185 CCSX Plus and their two-piece track kit. Try saying that 3 times while drunk. I'll shortly go over what you'll be getting in this kit, along with some tips to make sure you get your setup correctly to maximise its accuracy. At this point, I think it's worth clarifying what I believe this tool to be. When cutting sheet materials, there are multiple ways this can be done, but 3 of the most commonly used tools would be a circular saw or skill saw, a track saw and a plunge saw. In my eyes there are lots of similarities, but there are 3 fundamental differences. The 2 key points I'm looking at for the comparison is 1, how it cuts, and 2, how it's going to guide the cut. A skill saw or circular saw, probably the most basic in my opinion out of the 3. You set the blade to the depth of the cut based on the material you're cutting. In terms of guiding it, you run it against a straight edge, or you can use an edge guide which is fixed in position to the base of the saw. The difference with a plunge saw is that you can set the depth of cut which the saw will then plunge to as a maximum stop. This means until you're ready to cut with it, the saw is always retracted in the base with no exposed blade. The saw can then be used alongside tracks laid in position which will enable it to cut accurately and safely. This Evolution saw, however, is basically a hybrid of the 2. It runs on rails that will give you a perfectly straight edge and is incredibly quick to set up. But the flip side is that it has no plunge functionality, which I myself feel is more usable with this track setup and adds an extra element of safety. One of the main benefits of the plunge function, in my opinion, is that it allows you to start a cut anywhere on the centre of a board, simply by plunging the blade into the material in a slow and controlled manner, allowing the tracks to guide that cut. This is something you can do with a circular saw, but you do run the safety risk of getting kickback. Now, Evolution did send me this saw for an upcoming project, and like my other Evolution videos, they've asked me to give my honest opinion regarding this saw. However, as you can see, the box is still sealed, so I won't be giving away any of my feelings of this saw until I've really been able to use it. So, with that being said, let's open it up and see what's included. Starting with the main box, you get a handy travel bag that you can store the saw in, a 20-tooth TCT multi-material blade and a dust port that you can attach with the screws which are also included. I've chosen the 1.4 meter tracks, of which you get 2 of, and like the saw, a travel bag that will keep everything safe and secure when not in use. You also get 2 hand clamps to secure your tracks down with. Unsure how to change your blade for your saw? No problem. Let's walk through it together. First off, we need to unscrew the arbor bolt and take off the external flange. Set your blade into place with the right end facing you and the teeth should be pointing upwards. Replace the external flange and arbor bolt. Holding the locking button as shown and using the supplied Allen key, tighten the arbor bolt down. And that's it. All we have to do now is screw on the dust port and we're ready to get using this saw. If you've been watching my channel for some time, you may remember that I already owned a track saw. It was only cheap when I purchased it off of eBay and it lasted me well. However, there were some issues that I faced which I'll go over later in this video. The saw itself was fine, but a few years ago Hikoki Power Tools gave me one of their 18-volt circular saws which far exceeded my expectations. So I decided to sell the plunge saw and I've been using the Hikoki one ever since. Now I work a lot with sheet material and I didn't realise how much I was going to miss having a track saw until it was gone. Instead, I tended to use angle iron or offcuts of wood to create a straight edge which I could then run the circular saw against. This works okay, but it does take a long time to set up. Plus, if there was any deviance from a perfect edge, it would show massively in the cut. The tracks on this saw, however, are extruded aluminium and have a perfectly straight edge. To make a cut, I simply have to make 2 marks, lay down the tracks to those lines, and then the cut is always perfectly straight and true. Well, that is as long as you have the saw set up correctly. So there are a few things we'll need to sort out before we start making any cuts. But firstly, let's look at the tracks. On top we have 2 low friction strips that ensure the saw will move smoothly over the entire length of the track. There are built-in T-tracks that your saw will fit onto, and now I would like to say that these tracks can be used alongside other saws which have a compatible base, so you don't always have to use this exact saw or brand. Turning this over, you have your non-slip base, which allows you to lay your tracks down and get cutting without the need of any clamps. This is incredibly useful for, say, cutting floorboards where you don't always have any way to clamp down the track, or where you want to make multiple cuts on a board, which saves time not having to clamp down the guide rails each and every time you move them. Now, you do, however, get 2 clamps included in this kit, and they can be used by slotting them into the T-track on the underside. It is good practice to use these, but as I say, they're not necessary for most applications. I've since decided to buy these ratchet clamps, which will replace the Evolution ones. They're easier to work with and are very quick to set up. I know these are more common with the likes of Festool and other top budget brands, so it would be interesting to know whether this could be something Evolution looks into as a possible substitute to their current screw ones. Okay, on to the most important thing about these tracks, the splinter guard. Going back to my first saw, this was the main reason I got rid of it. The adhesive they used to adhere the splinter guard kept failing. The splinter guard is a piece of rubber that runs the full length of the guide rail that helps you see where your saw will cut. It also prevents the wood from splintering by holding down the wood fibres as the blade cuts in an upward motion. Now, this does require cutting back before first use, and luckily trimming the rubber is incredibly easy. First off, I want to make sure that the saw is cutting a perfect 90 degrees. Grab your favourite square, or in my case my digital angle gauge, and then place it against the blade. If it needs adjusting on this Evolution saw, you can do so by loosening this quick release lever, setting it to your square, and then tightening it all back down again. You may need to adjust your grub screw, which will be your permanent stop, so you can quickly reference back to 90 degrees if you change it for making angle cuts. Find a piece of wood that is roughly the same length for your track, and mine are 1.4 meters, but they do come in varying lengths. Lay your track down onto the wood, it doesn't matter where. The edge is fine as long as that piece of rubber is fully supported. Now, all you need to do is run your saw along the track just like you're making a cut, but I'll set the depth relatively shallow as all I want to cut is the rubber strip. The wood is only there for support. And that's pretty much it. The splinter guard is now set and ready to go for your saw. This piece of rubber serves 2 purposes. One, it will give you a visual indication where your cut line will be, so you can lay down your track directly over your pencil marks to make very quick and accurate cuts. And 2, if you've ever cut wood on, say, a chop saw, you may be left with lots of tear out. If we were to make the same cut, however, with a backer piece, you'll end up with a nice clean cut. The splinter guard just does exactly that. It stops splintering. If you have more than one track, like me, I would do these separately rather than join together, purely because of the overall length of the tracks. Once you do one, just repeat it for the next. Now we have them both trimmed to our saw, let's join the 2 tracks together. In the kit you have 2 connectors, and just place these into the T-tracks on the back and tighten your grub screws. Hopefully you'll be left with a perfect straight, but make sure you check this with your saw, running it over the connection to make sure it doesn't bind anywhere. If it does bind, it means that you're not perfectly aligned. This can be easily fixed. Loosen your grub screws and pull the 2 tracks slightly away from one another. Place something like a ruler into the gap and then snug the track up to it. This will leave an evenly spaced gap that should take out any discrepancies and allow the saw to glide over easier. So what are the benefits of a track saw and why would you need one? In general, there are many benefits to this type of saw. The biggest one is that you'll be able to quickly and efficiently cut wood, which will be smoother and more accurate than other methods. The setup time is incredibly quick. Just make 2 marks and lay your tracks down on top of them. Just make sure you lay your tracks on the right side of the cut. Should you not have enough space to lay down your tracks, for example you need to remove a sliver from the end of a board, you can use something like this jig here. You lay it down on top of the track, button it up against your splinter guard and then the other side to your marked line. This jig is the same thickness as my blade kerf, so you'll always be cutting to the measurements you need. If you're making, say, a table that requires you to cut along 45-degree mitre, as long as you follow the same principles as previously mentioned, you'll be able to make that perfect cut each and every time. It can be used to joint boards, and seeing as I work a lot with rough cut timbers, having something like this to cut off the live edge or even to create a straight edge to reference off is a bonus. You'll be able to break down large sheet goods or even trim down boards so you can finish the cut safely on the table saw. These saws are nice and light and compact enough to be thrown into the back of the car or van should you need to do site work. For beginners, they feel a lot safer running along a track than a freehand circular saw may. So what kind of projects can I make using this saw? As mentioned already in this video, the main reason for me using it is to break down large sheet materials or jointing rough lumber. They can be used to break down pallets, which of course Evolution is made for because it can cut through wood and metal with the same blade. Considering pallets can be incredibly difficult to break down and littered with nails, being able to lay down the track and zip through them would speed the whole process up. Flooring. If you're renovating your house or laying new flooring and want to cut out sections of the floorboards, with the depth stop you can make sure you're only cutting down the thickness of a floorboard and not into any electrical cables or water pipes that could hide underneath. Similar to the pallets, this saw can cut sheet metal too. This will come in handy should you want to make, say, a welding table or a food prep area for a restaurant. In this day and age, battery power has in some aspects far exceeded its main powered alternative. This is evident when I started using my high Koki circular saw. I was no longer hampered by a power cable and having to set up extension leads for when I wanted to use it outside. I could take the tool to site and not worried about asking the homeowner for anything other than a socket to keep all of my batteries charged. Evolution will be releasing a new battery range that is due in April, but I've been told that this saw isn't past that range. Well, that's not at the moment at least. Will it be a deal breaker? No, I don't think so, as this saw will only be used on projects in my workshop, as I don't tend to do much, if any, site work anymore. I'm not going to lie, yes, battery power is the future and would make things 10 times easier for me and a lot less cumbersome to move around in my small space. But I did think of that when I built my workshop. I have multiple sockets around the walls and would mean that I could use it anywhere. Plus this does come with a very generous 4-meter power cord. The only real benefit of a corded tool is that you'll always have the same power all of the time. The Koki has an amazing battery that means it will just keep going until it doesn't. There's been more than a few occasions that I've been left high and dry when it has eventually died. Because I use 2 tools with 2 batteries, it would mean I'd have to keep chopping and changing my batteries around until I could get the other one fully charged. I could just buy more batteries, obviously that would sort out my issues completely, but I'd rather not at the moment as they are expensive. I love my old Plunge saw, it was a great tool, and the only thing that let it down was the tracks. I've only personally ever heard good things about this Evolution products, and because of their compatibility, know quite a few other trade friends who have bought the Evolution tracks to go alongside their more expensive plunge saws. I know I'm going to have a lot of fun getting back familiar with this setup and already have a number of projects planned for using it. I'd love to share my experience of them with you, and if you'd like to keep up to date with any of my future video releases, it would be great if you could hit that subscribe button and bell icon, which will set up notifications for my channel. Again, this is not a review video. Evolution had asked me to show the unboxing video and first use of their saw, which is fine of course, but I didn't want this video to just be another unboxing review video. I wanted to delve into some real pros and cons for this kind of tool and how they can benefit you. I hope that you found this useful, and if you have, feel free to give me a like or a share. But if you didn't and wanted to see something else in this video, instead of just clicking thumbs down, why not get in touch and tell me why? Leave me a comment or email me using the information down below in the description. If you fancy getting hold of one of these saws for yourself, you can do so through Evolution's website using code WHCreations5 for 5% off their entire website. This may not sound a huge amount, but buying through this link will mean I get a little kickback, which in turn helps me out on this channel. If instead you'd like to support me through Patreon, you can find all the links down below. That's about it for this one. I can't wait to get my teeth stuck into this tool and make something totally unique and cool with it. I hope you can join me for that one, but until then, stay safe and make something awesome.